Enter the Dragon, 1972. The film that would make Bruce Lee a global icon. But on set, not everyone believed what they were seeing. A veteran stuntman, 20 years in Hollywood, worked with Steve McQueen, John Wayne, trained dozens of action stars, watched Bruce's fight scenes and said to the crew, "It's camera speed manipulation. Nobody moves that fast in real life." Bruce overheard, walked over, said 5 words. "Turn off the camera. Attack me." 8 seconds later, the entire film crew understood that some things are too real for cameras to capture. But let's rewind. Hong Kong, Kowloon, Golden Harvest Studios, Building C, Sound Stage 4, August 1972, Wednesday afternoon, 3:15 p.m. The temperature inside the studio is 95 degrees Fahrenheit, no air conditioning, just industrial fans that push hot air around. The smell is sweat, cigarette smoke, and the particular odor of film sets, hot lights, electrical equipment, decades of productions leaving their scent in the walls and floor. The sound stage is massive, 80 feet by 60 feet, concrete floor painted black, walls lined with lighting rigs, dozens of cables snaking across the ground, taped down with silver gaffer tape, 3 cameras positioned at different angles around a martial arts set, a courtyard designed to look like Han's Island compound from the film, fake stone walls, training equipment, the set where Bruce will film one of the most iconic fight scenes in cinema history. Right now, 40 people fill the sound stage, camera operators, lighting technicians, sound crew with boom mics, makeup artists standing by with powder and touch-up kits, assistant directors with clipboards, extras in martial arts uniforms waiting for their scenes, producer Raymond Chow watching from a director's chair, director Robert Klaus behind the main camera, and Bruce Lee in the center of it all, wearing the black pants and no shirt that would become his signature look in the film. His body is lean, defined, glistening with sweat under the hot lights. He's been working for 6 hours straight, fight choreography, blocking, camera angles, doing the same movements over and over until every camera captures exactly what the director needs. Bruce is 31 years old. This is his big break, his Hollywood moment. After years of being told he's too Chinese, too short, too different, he's finally the lead in a major international production. Warner Brothers is distributing. This film will play in America, Europe, everywhere. Everything Bruce has worked for, all the training, all the philosophy, all the rejection, comes down to this movie. The pressure is immense, but Bruce doesn't show it. He's focused, professional, doing take after take without complaint. When the director says, "Again," Bruce does it again. When they ask for one more angle, he gives them 5. This is his chance. He's not going to waste it. The crew has been watching him all day, watching him move, and what they're seeing doesn't make sense. Bruce's strikes are too fast. When he throws a punch, the camera can't capture it clearly. The film shows a blur. The director keeps having to adjust, slow down the action, change the angles, ask Bruce to pull his speed back so the audience can actually see what's happening. It's a problem. A good problem, but still a problem. Bruce Lee moves faster than 1970s film technology can properly capture. Among the crew is a man named Jack Turner, American, age 42, professional stuntman and fight coordinator, 20 years in Hollywood. He's worked on dozens of action films, trained actors how to throw fake punches that look real, coordinated fight scenes for Steve McQueen in Bullet, John Wayne in True Grit, worked with stunt teams on The Wild Bunch. He knows action filmmaking inside and out. He knows every trick. Speed ramping, undercranking the camera to make action look faster when played back, editing cuts to hide the setup between moves, wire work to make things that are impossible look possible. He's seen it all, done most of it. And watching Bruce Lee today, Jack is convinced he's seeing camera tricks. The movements are too fast, too precise. Nobody moves like that in real life. It has to be undercranking, filming at a slower frame rate so when played back at normal speed, the action looks faster. That's the only explanation that makes sense. During a break between setups, Jack is standing with two other crew members near the craft services table, drinking water, eating fruit, cooling down from the oppressive heat. He says loud enough for several people to hear, "The speed is impressive on film, but it's camera manipulation. You undercrank to 18 frames per second, play it back at 24, suddenly everyone looks fast. It's basic film technique, makes the actor look better than they actually are." A camera assistant nearby says, "I don't think they're undercranking. I checked the camera settings." Jack shakes his head. Then it's editing. Fast cuts. You can make anyone look fast with the right editing. Trust me, I've done this for 20 years. Nobody actually moves that fast in real combat. It's movie magic. The conversation isn't private. It's a small space. 40 people crammed into a hot sound stage. Voices carry. Bruce hears it. He's 20 feet away, toweling off sweat, drinking water, preparing for the next setup. He hears Jack's voice, hears the skepticism, hears the dismissal. For a moment, Bruce doesn't react. He's used to skepticism, used to people doubting him, used to having to prove himself over and over. It's been his whole life. But something about this moment, on his set, during his film, someone dismissing his skill as camera tricks in front of his crew, something about it demands a response. Not an angry response, not a defensive argument, a demonstration. Bruce walks over to Jack. His approach is calm. No aggression, no anger, just direct. He stops a few feet away and says, "You think my speed is camera tricks?" Jack turns, sees Bruce Lee standing there, realizes Bruce heard what he said. Jack's not intimidated. He's been in Hollywood 20 years. He's worked with the biggest stars. He's not starstruck. He says, "No offense, but yeah, I've coordinated action scenes for 2 decades. I know what's possible and what's movie magic. What I'm seeing on the monitors looks augmented." Bruce nods slowly. "What if I showed you it's real? No cameras, no editing, just you and me. Real time." Jack hesitates. This is getting uncomfortable. "Look, I'm not trying to start anything. I'm just saying from a technical filmmaking standpoint," Bruce interrupts gently, "turn off the cameras. Attack me. 3 times. Full speed. If you can touch me, I'll admit you're right. If you can't, you admit I'm not using tricks." The soundstage goes quiet. 40 people stop what they're doing. Conversations cease. Everyone turns to watch. This is about to happen. Jack looks around. He's been publicly challenged. If he backs down now, he looks weak. Looks like he was talking without being able to back it up. His reputation as a tough guy, a real stuntman, a man who's worked with legends, it's all on the line. He says, "All right, but understand, I'm a professional. I've trained boxing, kickboxing. I'm not some extra. If I'm attacking for real, I'm attacking for real." Bruce says simply, "I wouldn't want it any other way." Director Robert Klaus walks over. "Gentlemen, maybe we should—" Bruce raises a hand. "It's fine, Robert. This will only take a minute, and it'll save time in post-production. Jack will understand why we're not using camera tricks." Raymond Chow, the producer, looks nervous. If Bruce gets injured, the entire production shuts down. Millions of dollars at risk. But he knows Bruce. Knows that once Bruce decides to prove a point, nothing will stop him. The crew clears space. Cables get pulled back. Equipment moved aside. A circle forms. 40 witnesses. Jack removes his shirt. He's solid. 6 feet 1 inch, 200 pounds. Thick arms from years of stunt work. Broad shoulders. The build of someone who's been in real fights, done real stunts, taken real hits. He's not some actor pretending to be tough. He's the real thing. Bruce stands in the center of the cleared space, still wearing just his black pants from the film, still sweating from 6 hours of work, still lean and small compared to Jack, 5 feet 7 inches, 140 pounds. The size difference is obvious. Bruce says, 3 attacks. You choose how. Punches, kicks, combinations, Whatever you want. Full speed. Don't hold back. Jack says, "And you'll do what? Block? Dodge?" Bruce says, "I'll counter, but I'll stop 1 centimeter from your face. I won't make contact. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm just proving my speed is real." Jack nods, gets into a fighting stance, orthodox boxing stance, left foot forward, hands up, professional posture, 20 years of experience settling into muscle memory. Bruce doesn't take a stance, just stands naturally. Hands relaxed at his sides, breathing calm. The crew watches, some nervous, some excited, some already pulling out cameras. Not film cameras, personal cameras, Polaroids, trying to document this moment. Jack commits to his first attack. Left jab, fast, snapping punch, textbook boxing. His fist shoots forward. Bruce's right hand moves. Not a block. A parry. Lightning fast deflection. Jack's jab slides past Bruce's head, missing by inches. Before Jack can retract his arm, Bruce's left hand is already in motion. Straight punch, traveling forward. Jack sees it. His brain registers the movement, but his body can't react fast enough. Bruce's fist stops 1 centimeter from Jack's nose. Frozen there. Perfectly controlled. Jack can feel the displaced air against his face. Can see Bruce's knuckles right in front of his eyes. 1 centimeter. His brain is trying to process what just happened. How did Bruce's counter arrive before Jack could even pull his jab back? Jack resets. Shakes his head slightly. That was 1. He's got 2 more chances. This time, he'll be ready. He throws a right cross. Bigger punch, more power, coming from his rear hand, his whole body behind it. Bruce steps offline, 45 degrees to the left. The cross sails through empty space, and Bruce's right hand is already there. Straight punch, arriving at Jack's face before Jack's cross even fully extends. Stops 1 centimeter from Jack's cheekbone. Frozen again. Perfect control. Jack's eyes go wide. He didn't see it. Didn't see Bruce's hand move. 1 second Jack was throwing a punch. The next second, Bruce's fist was in front of his face. No blur. No motion he could track. Just suddenly there. The crew is dead silent. Jack takes a step back, breathing harder now. Not from exertion. From shock. From the realization that he's completely outmatched. But he's committed. 1 more attack. He feints a left jab, then throws a right hook. Combination. The kind that works in real fights. The feint draws Bruce's attention. The hook comes from the blind side. Should work. Bruce doesn't react to the feint. Reads it instantly. When the hook comes, Bruce ducks under it. The punch passes over his head. And Bruce's counter, an uppercut motion, stops 1 centimeter from Jack's chin. Frozen. Perfectly placed. Jack could kiss Bruce's knuckles if he moved his face forward a single centimeter. 8 seconds. 3 attacks. 3 counters. 3 demonstrations of speed so precise, so controlled, that Jack's brain still hasn't fully processed what happened. Bruce lowers his hand. Steps back. Says calmly, "I don't use camera tricks. I use 30 years of training. 6 hours a day. Every day. Since I was 7 years old. The speed you see on film is actually slowed down so audiences can follow the action. My real speed is faster than what cameras can capture clearly." Jack stands there. His hands have dropped. He's not in a fighting stance anymore. Just standing. Processing. His understanding of what's possible has just been rewritten. He says quietly, "I didn't see your hand move. At all. I felt the air. I saw your fist in front of my face, but I didn't see the motion between." Bruce nods. Your eyes take 250 milliseconds to send visual information to your brain. My punch takes 180 milliseconds from chamber to full extension. You're seeing the result, not the process. That's why it looks like camera tricks. Human vision can't process it in real time. One of the camera operators says, "Can we film that again? For behind-the-scenes footage?" Bruce shakes his head. This wasn't a performance. This was a demonstration. Jack needed to feel it, not watch it. He turns to Jack. You're a professional. You've done real work with real legends. I respect that. But what you see on film isn't augmented. It's actually reduced. We have to slow my movements down, add more frames, give audiences time to see what's happening. Otherwise, it just looks like a blur. Jack extends his hand. Bruce shakes it. Jack says, I apologize. I've worked in Hollywood 20 years and thought I'd seen everything. I've never seen anything like you. Bruce says, You've seen trained actors. I'm a trained martial artist who acts. Different foundation. The crew bursts into spontaneous applause. Not because Bruce won. There was no fight. Because they just witnessed something that shouldn't be possible. Because the speed they'd been filming all day, the speed they thought might be enhanced, is actually real. Actually faster than what they can fully capture on film. Director Robert Klaus walks over. Bruce, can you do that in the actual scene? The stopping right before contact? Bruce says, Every take. That's how I train. Control is more important than power. Production resumes. The rest of the day's filming goes smoothly, but the energy has changed. The crew looks at Bruce differently now, not as an actor who does his own stunts, as something else, something beyond what they've encountered before. Jack Turner stays for the rest of the shoot, watches every scene, studies Bruce's movements. During lunch breaks, he asks Bruce about training methods, about philosophy, about how someone develops that level of speed and control. Bruce teaches him, explains that speed without control is just flailing, that real martial arts is about precision, efficiency, economy of motion, that 30 years of daily training creates muscle memory so deep that conscious thought isn't needed. The body simply responds. 2 weeks later, Jack writes a letter to his friend, a film critic for a Hollywood trade magazine. The letter gets published as an article. I've worked with McQueen, Wayne, Eastwood, the biggest action stars in Hollywood. They're tough guys, real professionals, but Bruce Lee is something different. I challenged his speed, thought it was camera tricks. He proved me wrong in 8 seconds. No cameras, no editing. Just raw speed and precision I didn't think human beings were capable of. When Enter the Dragon comes out, people will think the fights are sped up. They're not. They're slowed down. Because Bruce Lee moves faster than 1970s cameras can properly capture. This isn't movie magic. This is what happens when someone dedicates their entire life to mastering movement. The article circulates through Hollywood. When Enter the Dragon releases in August 1973, 1 month after Bruce's death, audiences see the speed. Critics call it revolutionary. Martial arts films change forever, but few people know the story behind it. The day a Hollywood veteran learned that some things are too real for cameras. The 8 seconds that proved Bruce Lee's speed wasn't Hollywood magic. It was 30 years of discipline made visible. Jack Turner continued working as a stuntman until 1989. He retired after a back injury ended his career. In interviews during the 1980s and 90s, he always told the story of that day on the Enter the Dragon set. He'd say, I've been hit by the best stunt coordinators in the business, taken falls from buildings, done car crashes, fought trained fighters, but the scariest moment of my career was watching Bruce Lee's fist stop 1 centimeter from my face and realizing I never saw it coming. That's when I understood the difference between movie fighting and real mastery. 50 years later, the debate continues. People watch Bruce Lee's films and argue. Is the speed real? Is it enhanced? Was it camera tricks? The answer was given in 1972 on a soundstage in Hong Kong, to 40 witnesses, in 8 seconds, with no cameras running. Bruce Lee's speed was real, so real that filmmakers had to slow it down to make it visible, so real that a 20-year Hollywood veteran with decades of experience couldn't track the motion with his trained eyes. So real that we're still talking about it half a century later. The question isn't whether Bruce Lee was fast. The question is, what else is possible when someone dedicates their entire life to a single pursuit? What other human capabilities are we dismissing as impossible simply because we haven't seen someone train hard enough to achieve them? Because 8 seconds on a film set proved that what we think are human limits are often just training limits. What we think is impossible is often just unexplored. And what we think is movie magic might just be reality that cameras can't quite capture.